A look at where Beta's remnants are now. You can see that the views from Houston and as well Galveston, and coming down pretty hard in some parts of Houston still.
Yeah, you can also see those incredibly dark, low-hanging clouds. Now, Beta's been causing a lot of flooding for many in and around the Houston area. Let's go straight to Travis Herzog right now to find out how much more of this we're going to see. Travis?
Unfortunately, several more inches are possible, and just because Beta is now a tropical depression does not reduce the risk of flash flooding. This will present to us through the night. This is our tower cam, and we're getting one of those rain bands where the rain is coming down at a rate of about 2 inches per hour, and it is a blinding rain that we are seeing from our tower cam. Here's the broad radar view again. There's the last center fix of Beta's circulation. Looks like it's somewhere now over Matagorda County again, and we do have one active flash flood warning. This covers basically from downtown through Pasadena up northward through Jersey Village all the way up almost into Spring. This runs until 7 p.m. and we're seeing a persistent feeder band that's been over here for the past several hours, dumping rain at a rate again of 1 to 2 inches per hour. And there's the one that's hitting us here at ABC 13, and this is a large flood advisory. It's not a flash flood warning. That means basically that the water levels aren't rising rapidly, but there's widespread water out of banks and over roadways, and so use caution if you have to travel through this location. And given how narrow these bands are, like we just experienced here, we heard a ton of rain on our roof and then it just suddenly stopped. That's the kind of thing that we're looking at with these tropical rain bands, and that's why you can see very high accumulations in a very narrow ribbon and then hardly anything just a few miles away. So Beta circulation will continue moving off in an east-northeasterly direction. There's also a stationary front attached to it, and oftentimes right along these boundaries you'll get your heaviest rains and highest accumulations, and that cuts right through Houston, Harris County into Liberty, Chambers, and Jefferson counties. That's likely where we're going to see the highest accumulations as we go through the night. FutureTrack continues to indicate those persistent rains will continue across Montgomery and the northern half of Harris County as we go through the evening. By midnight, we're looking at the majority of the rains from about Houston eastward, and those of you in northeast Harris County and Liberty County, Chambers County, you didn't get much rain last night. You're going to get a whole lot more overnight. 3 to 6 inches will be common. Isolated spots could pick up over 10. By 3 o'clock in the morning, the heaviest rain should be leaving Houston and Harris County, and by the time we hit sunrise tomorrow, around the time the flood watch is expiring, we should be looking at much drier conditions, though in the afternoon on the backside of Beta circulation, we cannot rule out a few isolated downpours. Now, generally speaking, the highest rainfall accumulations will be from Houston eastward of 3 to 6 inches common, but again, isolated spots in these tropical training feeder bands can easily exceed 10 inches. And that's important because west of Houston, from Houston westward is where we saw the highest rainfall amounts over the last 24 hours. So a lot of these counties west of Harris will get a chance to dry out. But Houston is once again going to be under the gun, at least for the early part of the night. And we hope they don't fall over, the rain doesn't fall over those same spots that picked up a foot or more last night from the southwest corner of Loop 610 all the way down in toward Pearland. And then you get up 30 miles to the northeast towards northeast Harris County around Lake Houston, only about half an inch of rain. But again, that'll be changing as we head through the night. We do have some bayous and creeks still out of their banks. It's mainly the creeks right now that are the problem. Clear Creek, several spots here, these red sensors from the Harris County Flood Control District indicating that we have water that is outside of its banks. Our reporters have been doing a great job keeping everyone informed on what's happening there. And unfortunately, we have seen water into some homes in that part of southeast Texas. Now, as we look at the winds around Beta circulation, it's still onshore once you get into Matagorda, Brazoria counties off to the east, and so a coastal flood warning continues. This replaces the storm surge warning, but we're looking at minor coastal flooding, 1 to 3 foot tides above normal, or 1 to 3 feet above normal tides. Numerous roads and low-lying spots could still go underwater at times, and we expect improvements to all of this by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. So we have a 70% chance of rain continuing in the morning. Flood watch expires at 7 a.m. Then things should improve as we go through the rest of the day. Wednesday into Thursday as Beta circulation moves into Louisiana, and it's no longer our problem. We are expecting great weather for the weekend, though it does warm up a little bit. And today, fall began, and we have our first true fall front in the forecast around Tuesday of next week. And if our confidence grows in the strength of that front, we might even be able to drop those temperatures a little bit more. So that's something that we can look forward to. We just need to make it through another long night of some heavy rainfall.